Start, could you take us back to the beginning? How did you discover your passion for the arts and storytelling?
Oh yeah. So it's kind of funny that you say storytelling. When I was in elementary school, in the second grade, I believe, my teachers would have me come read stories to the grades younger than me because I always loved to act out the characters in the
Mm,
storybooks. So I remember like my favorite voice to do was like this ladybug character. But honestly, ever since I can remember, like I've always wanted to be a performer. I've always like wanted to act, wanted to sing, wanted to dance. I just wanted like to show out. So forever.
Well, when you look at your career as a whole, who or what has had the biggest influence, either personally or professionally?
Mm. Personally, definitely my family. I think that my family they've always been really supportive. They've never been the type of people to be like, "Oh, you need to do something realistic," quote unquote.
Mm,
They've always been the type of people that like I said I wanted to be a singer, I said I wanted to be an actor, and they were like, "Yeah, you go for that." And because of that, like I feel like I have this like innate belief that everything will work out.
mm,
That I've any doubts like that I have come from myself and they don't come from like my upbringing, which is like a nice basis to have.
yeah.
And then professionally, like not to be cliche, but Beyonce, I freaking love Beyonce. I look to her for so much inspiration, just like in her strength and like, what she's endured to like make her career what it is. And yeah, I just really look up to her.
Definitely. Don't lose that mentality. It's going to guide you well and throughout your career. And you've had so much success already in your young career. When you look back, is there a particular moment that stands out to you?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a couple. I would say the first like time that I felt like wow was at the end of a full week on Broadway on Jagged Little Pill. I think it was on a Sunday. It was like our Sunday matinee, like the bows. And I just started crying because I was like, oh my gosh, like I get to like this is my job. Because I also remember I had gone up to like a food truck in New York City to like get some food. And for like half a second in my head, I was like, wait, how do I pay for this? Like I don't have a job. But then I was like, oh my God, no, 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 I do have a job. Like I did genuinely like for like the tiniest second it left my mind that I was even working. And I was like,
Mm.
this is awesome. Like this is what I've always wanted to do.
You have experience on both the stage and on the screen. How different are those two mediums, and what has that transition been like going back and forth?
Oh, it's definitely extremely different. First off, on stage, first of all, you work towards kind of you it really never stops until it's over. You know what I mean? I think the same could
Yeah.
be said for film, but on stage you do the whole thing over and over again. You go from beginning to end and you live through the whole entire story from beginning to end every single day in front of a live audience. And often like you feed off the energy from the audience versus with TV and film, it's like an entirely new skill because a lot of times you film out of order. You don't film in the order
Yeah.
of the actual script. And you kind of have to pull from you kind of have to like snap into it pretty much. Like there might not be a lead up whenever you're going into a scene that you're about to film. And also you take that scene and you film it over and over and over again. Um Blocking is a bit more freer, I've noticed
Mm,
on TV and film sets
yeah.
because you don't have the issue of like lighting and like light cues. It's more just like generally be here, but you can kind of do whatever. So it's been very interesting to see what kind of different skill sets are required for each craft.
Yeah, you've got a new Netflix film out now. What was it about this particular character and script that resonated with you?
I think what resonated with me the most was just, she's a sassy 16-year-old character. She's just like, oh my gosh, like this is so whack, this is so boring, Vietnam blah. Like she's very much like how I was and I think how a lot of people can relate to being when you're 16 years old and just so unimpressed by anything your parents, try to do. And so I just, when I read it, I noticed that it was a rom-com that was like obviously, you read the script and I was like, this just looks like so much fun. Like it's very lighthearted, it's very sweet, it's heartwarming. And so it was just fun to be able to like, play a teenage character who kind of along the way grows and finds new, I guess, discoveries about herself.
Yeah. And this is one of your biggest film projects to date. How did you find out the news that you booked the role, and how did you celebrate?
Yeah, oh my gosh. So it actually came around the time, it was right after Jagged Little Pill on Broadway closed. And so I was like, oh, I was kind of heart-wrenched. And luckily, right around that time, it was pilot season. I auditioned for the role. 2 weeks went by, I didn't hear anything. And then I got the offer from my first audition, which was such an honor, first of all. But I remember I got the call and I just started crying because I was like, I was already missing just performing in art, and
Mm.
I'd been at the time I was like, dang, like I was doing this thing I really love to do, and now it's over. And then like a short month and a half, 2 months later, I found out that I get to do it all over again and just in a different avenue. And so I was alone. But I remember I called all my family and I was like, guys, you will not believe, like I booked something else. We're good. And it's been so much fun.
Great answer. And this film is such a love letter to traveling. When you're looking to escape, where do you turn to?
Oh, when I'm looking to escape, I always turn to music. Um, and also my home environment.
Mm.
Like I'm a big journaler, a big writer. Even if I'm not writing down music, I just love writing down like a stream of consciousness, like figuring out what am I thinking, what's going on. And I just love like creating a safe solitude like place for myself. And then from that, like creating.
That during your kind of your preparation process, you like to journal from your perspective of your character. What was in Robin's journal?
Yeah, so in Robin's journal, there was actually okay, so there were two moments. I journaled kind of Robin's backstory first, which was like she just came from like this big group of friends and they all had money and they're all in their own little bubble and she has a boyfriend that her moms don't like and just like this sort of like just what you would expect like a privileged teenage girl who's like complaining about being in Vietnam would
Yeah.
be like but also when I was on set I had a phone like Robin's phone that I kind of like slip I was typing what Robin was thinking the whole time, like in a little notes folder, and I was just like, oh, like there's this kid, Alex, and I don't know why he keeps smiling. Like he just looks so happy. And it's like it's like kind of always just trying to figure out what would Robin be thinking right
Yeah.
now? Like, why is she so been out of shape over this situation? So yeah.
It's a great process. There's also such a great chemistry that comes off the screen between the entire cast. How much do you think, how did you build that chemistry, and how much was that as a result of like getting to film in these incredible locations?
Yeah. So I mean, we spent like 24/7 together, the entire tour group, because every time we filmed, we were always together. So we were always on set together, but also on the days that we were off, we were all off together. And of course, we're all in a new environment that we don't really know very well. So if any of us wanted to do something, most likely we were going to invite each other. We'd be like, hey, like, y'all want to try this thing together? You want to do this? And of course, we would split off into our little groups. But I mean, we just became very close over the course of like running to each other at the
Yeah.
hotel, having breakfast together, having lunch together, going and trying new things together. And I think that with that, and then also, bringing it to the screen, like it was just so natural. I mean, we were a tour group together. We were
Mm.
touring
Yeah.
a different country. Everything was on location. We traveled with our characters. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was just it was easy. It was almost like, yeah, we became a family, truly.
Do you have a favorite behind the scenes moment with any of your cast members?
Oh gosh, there's so many. I will say that I I spent the most time with Andrew Barth Feldman, who played Alex, just because we had the same PA, so we were always grouped together in a lot of things. And so we got the privilege to actually go to the Golden Hand Bridge in Vietnam, and it was so cool. We went on this really long, like ski lift, like this lift. Oh my gosh, it was so long and went so high up, and we went into the clouds where the Golden Hand Bridge is, and it looks like this. And we like took all these pictures. And so that was such a fun day, just like exploring that entire park because it's very cool. There's a lot of different influences of like Germany in
Yeah.
there, and then there's like dinosaurs, and then they have roller coasters, and then they have temples. Like it was It was awesome.
Yeah, anybody who watches this film is gonna want to go visit Vietnam and travel more. You're also gonna be starring in Disney's The Pocket Watch. Is there anything that you can tease about that project right now?
Oh my gosh. Well, I just have to say, like, you gotta come watch it. Honestly, I'm not sure how much I can say about the project itself, but what I can tell you is that it is amazing. It's so colorful. The music is so good. I love the music so much. The dancing is bomb. I think people are really gonna love it. I think people are really gonna love that we bring Wonderland into it. Also, Brandy Cinderella's back, okay, with
Yeah.
Paolo Montalban as well. Like, come on, there's just so much exciting new things coming into the Descendants universe that I'm excited for people to see.
Yeah, this is also such an exciting time in your career, and you're such a dynamic storyteller. As you look ahead, is there a dream role that you would love to bring to life, either on the stage or on the screen,
Oh gosh, like a dream role that already exists, or like
or one that you can create?
I would love to play a character in a zombie apocalypse. I don't know. I don't know like how popular the zombie apocalypse genre is. I knew that like when I was growing up, like I remember watching The Walking Dead all the
Yeah.
time and just loving it. I love a good apocalyptic show, even if it's not zombies. Like I just want to be in like some sort of post apocalyptic sad world and like trying to figure it out. I think it'd be really fun and fulfilling for me.